Hi, and welcome back to another edition of PDQPD. I'm John Sedgwick, and today I'd like to show you some of the features of the version history that are available in Google Docs. If you use Google Docs on a regular basis, you're aware of the version history, and what that does is it allows you to look at previous versions of a document and go back to those versions if you like them better or see what kind of changes you've made. Now, this can come in handy for a group project when a number of students are contributing to a document and you want to see who contributed what elements of it. It could be used for, say, an English teacher if you have rough drafts and then you do some editing and you want to see how those edits compare to one another. It could be something as simple as you've made a mistake in a version and you want to go back to an earlier version to correct that mistake. So let me show you how that works and a particularly interesting new feature. First, I'm going to show the version history, and you can see I have a document here on the screen that I use in a lot of my professional developments. It's simply the Gettysburg Address, but I use that because I make a lot of edits to it, show teachers how to use specific tools and such, and then I can go back to the original. And let me show you how that works. I'm going up here to File, and then you can see about halfway down there's a version history, and I'm going to look at the version history. Click the See Version History, and you can see here that it's all in green, and it will show you every day that there's been a version update, that somebody has made edits to this. It will show you that version, and in the colors here in the color blocks, it will tell you who made those particular edits. You can see on different days different edits have been made, and I've used this a lot. So you can see there are a number. This goes all the way back to, say, 2015, I believe, is some of the earliest versions. So there have been a lot of edits made to this. And what I like to do is after a group has made all of their edits, I can go back to an early version and take a look at it and make sure that it's the original. That one looks like an original. And if I want to revert to this version, I go up here to the Restore This Version button and select that, and it will restore the document back to the version that I've selected. Now, that's a pretty cool little tool because, like I said, I go back and bring it back to its original form to start anew with each professional development. Now, for teachers, if you're using rough drafts, this can be a little bit awkward in that everything is listed by date. If you have a deadline, let's say, that students have to have their first draft turned in by a certain date, then you have to go to that date to find the edits. And that's fine for the first one, but once you get a number of edits, students could be editing this every day for a month, so you'd have a lot of entries. Well, there's a cool new feature. It's been around for a few months now. It's called Name Your Version, or you can name a specific version rather than have the date. You can see I've scrolled over the date here, and I have the option to name this version. I'm going to click on the three buttons, and I'm going to select Name This Version. Now, it doesn't mean I necessarily have to change to this version, but I'm going to call this the original. And then I'm going to hit Enter. And you see the date is still underneath the title. So it's now called Original instead of September 14th. So if I am up here in a version like this that has a lot of edits in it, and I want to find a version that's the original version, I don't have to look for a date. I can look for a title. And in this case, the title's Original. I select Original, click Restore This Version. It asks me if I'm sure. And now I'm back to the original version, and we're ready to start editing again. Again, a pretty specific use case for this would be teachers using a rough draft. The version history is a very unique tool in Google Docs, and it's something that I think you'll be able to find useful in a lot of situations. Very quickly, the same option is available. I'm going to bring up a Google Slides document, and you can see I've brought up the version history here, and you can do the same thing in Google Slides as you can in Google Docs. So if you have a Google Slides presentation and you make some edits to it, you have the same options to rename or go back to earlier versions. Pretty cool feature, very helpful once you learn to use it. Hope this is helpful to you, and as always, have a great day.